Good evening. Thank you all for joining us. This regular board meeting of the Board of Trustees of Socorro ISD is being held March 23rd, 2021, and the time is 6 o'clock. If you'll all please stand and join us. Tonight, our Pledge of Allegiance is being led by Liz Chavez, who is our librarian at Myrtle Cooper. Ms. Chavez.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Ms. Chavez. We will continue with item number 3, superintendent's comments. Dr. Espinosa?
Yes, President Nájera, members of the board, as announced earlier in the school year, Socorro ISD had the most Purple Star TEA awards in the state of Texas with a whopping 40. And as you can see the banner right there in front, yes. You know, gaining this enormous honor is due to our love and our commitment for our military students and families. This special award recognized our schools that show support and commitment to meeting the unique needs of our military-connected students and their families. So we're showing our love and for our military families once again. Later on this evening, and I had a chance to speak to the family briefly, you know, we'll hear a presentation from a proclamation establishing April as the month of the military child, as well as April 15th as Purple Day to recognize all the sacrifices our military-connected parents and their children have made here in Team SISD and throughout the country. So in Team SISD, we have a great partnership with Fort Bliss as we work, and we're going to continue to work to provide support and services to our military families. With this outstanding service and support, I'm proud to report that more and more military families continue to choose SISD as the district of choice. You know, we over the last 3 years, our enrollment has continued to increase. The number of military-connected students we have served has increased for about 60%, which is remarkable, specifically when we went from like 3,300 to over 5,300 students this year. So that truly shows the amazing work that we're doing in our school district for our military families. So on behalf of Team SISD, I salute all of our military families for their service and sacrifice. You have our promise, our continued promise to treat and educate all of our students as if they were our very own children. So thank you so much. So I would also like to take this opportunity to thank our Keep SISD Safe team, our SISD employee clinic, and all of our community partners, including Immunize El Paso, the city of El Paso, the hospitals of Providence, and UTEP for their work to provide our employees with multiple opportunities to receive a COVID-19 vaccine. All of, as of this week, all Socorro ISD employees who have let us know that they wanted to receive a vaccine have been connected with an opportunity to do so. So this is amazing, and we cannot be more grateful to everyone who's made this possible. If there's an employee who has changed their mind and now wants to receive a vaccine or potentially missed a previous opportunity to sign up, we ask that they please notify their supervisor, who will work with our safety team to connect them with the next available opening. Also, by the end of the day tomorrow, all of our employees who requested a vaccine should be 100% vaccinated. Again, way to go, Team SISD. Real proud. So again, thank you to Ms. Macias and everyone who assisted with this great endeavor. Thank you. Now, a highlight in our school board meetings is the privilege to honor our students and educators for their achievements, earning local, regional, statewide, and also national accolades and recognition. But Obviously, due to the pandemic, we're not able to acknowledge these exceptional individuals as a team here in person, like we've always done before. But however, to honor our student and staff, we have always have posted an article on our website along with an animated presentation. We're also sharing it on our district social media accounts. So please share the story and the post with your family and your friends so that they can applaud our high-performing students and staff. So this month, we're honoring the H.D. Hilly Elementary Robotics Team, the Robonauts, who were the district champions at Robocom 7.0. They won the Inspire Award, the top honor of the event. So congratulations to Hilly Elementary's Robonauts. Way to go. I'm confident they're going to build the next big thing. Next, we also had 9 students win top awards in our district's first SISD Black History Month art contest. So congratulations to these talented students. Keep up the great work. All of them are amazing, amazing artists. Also, 11 SISD students won top awards and advanced to the state competition for the High School Visual Arts Scholastic Event, or VASE. Congratulations to the talented SISD VASE state qualifiers. Also, very proud to report that 35 Destination Imagination teams from 26 SISD schools did great at the annual DI competition and advanced to the 2021 Lone Star State finalists. Congratulations to all these Destination Imagination winners. We also had 38 SISD students show impressive research and presentation skills with their science fair project, and that advanced them to the 2021 Texas Science and Engineering Fair. So congratulations to our outstanding science fair state winners. Also, America's High School varsity boys basketball team had an outstanding year, winning UIL 1-6A district, 6A by district, and also 6A area champions. It's an amazing coach. Coach Brooks there and the entire team have been winning lots of titles for many, many years. So congratulations to the America's High School varsity boys basketball team. Also, the America's High School varsity girls basketball team had an outstanding season as well, winning UIL's 1-6A district and 6A by district championships. So congratulations to America's High School's varsity girls basketball team. Has an amazing, amazing coach there as well, her first year. So congratulations on her leadership and congratulations to her team. Also, we have an exceptional SISD administrator who was named the 2021 TEPSA Assistant Principal of the Year for Region 19 by the Texas Elementary Principals and Supervisors Association, and that congratulations goes to John Drugan, Assistant Principal, Miss Melissa Smith. That's a great honor and accomplishments. And last but definitely not least, we have 2 SISD educators who earned the 2020 AP Computer Science Female Diversity Award from the College Board for their efforts in bridging the gender gap and expanding access for female students in computer science classes. So congratulations to Alexandra Robles from Eastlake High School and also Francisco Nolasco from America's High School. Thank you so much for being courageous advocates for our female students. Way to go. Again, our students and staff, they just never cease to amaze us. The sky is the limit. You know, when you work hard, when you have that I can do it attitude and never give up, even in the middle of a global pandemic. Keep up the great work, Team SISD. We are beyond proud for each and every one of you. This concludes my comments for this evening, President Nara.
Thank you, Dr. Espinosa. Let's have a big round of applause for all of our students and staff. We will continue with item number 4, open forum. We greatly appreciate those individuals who have requested to speak to the board during open forum or in regard to a specific agenda item. We are bound by certain time constraints in order to cover all the items on the agenda and therefore must limit presentations to 5 minutes. Please respect the rights of others in your presentation. By law, the board cannot take action upon or discuss any item which is not posted on tonight's agenda, but we will give all presentations our serious consideration. And thank you. Let's proceed to open forum. Our first speaker is Rodrigo Martinez.
Good evening. I am here on behalf of Socorro Independent School District teachers, staff, parents, and now, of course, my aunt and uncle who have moved into the area. A couple of concerns that I would like to leave this board with is first is why is our district so far behind in vaccinating their teachers, yet other districts are way ahead of us. Second concern is we would like, the public would like, an honest response to what relationship Mr. Gary Gandara has with Mary Gonzalez other than professional. Text messages that we have obtained will not be released until a couple weeks later, right before the election, but we would like some answers to that. With that being said, I would like to ask Gary, why have you spoke up now about charter schools until now? Is this board willing to also support educational support personnel to living wage at $15 an hour? That's another huge concern and worry from our community. One of the last few things that I'd like to say is why are we considering giving a COVID relief right now when the budget talks should not be taking place until August? Through intel, I did become aware that that is the plan and strictly for re-election purposes. Lastly, I would like to touch on something me personally that I'm very bothered by. Per Government Code 66.914.21, let me read it to you. Texas law prohibits school districts from electioneering for or against any candidate, measure, or political party. So the best course of action is to refrain from posting campaign or political materials on our school or district property. Yet, EFT President Veronica Hernandez on March 15 posted a video on Facebook in support of Mr. Gary Gandara, which goes against the Texas law. Mr. Gandara, my family now lives in the area of SISD. And I'm going to ask you, the next time you decide to post a sign without permission, to please have some respect and ask. Because I have obtained people's recorded voices where they're not too happy with the signs. I stand here glad to say that I actually used yours for my bonfire a couple days ago.
He called me back and he got his eyes removed immediately. I have not getting anything from Gary Gandara. Oh, I see. So I mean, if I don't get something by the next day or two, I'm gonna publicize that he's not following, like he's just doing putting signs illegally in properties, and I'm just gonna.
Unethical. Have some respect is all I ask for the community. I understand you're up for re-election, but desperate measures doesn't mean disrespecting people's properties, families' homes, companies' properties. And I ask right now in front of this board for you to stop. I can't stop you from posting because you want to be reelected, but I can ask you to please just ask before you post any signs, especially on my family's property. There are many out there that are not happy with the situation. And just to let you know, when my aunt told me that your sign was on her yard, I would never support a corruptive board member, politician, or yourself. That is all.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Speaker number 2 is Tommy Hill.
good? Okay. Okay, we had 6 board members come to transportation. I talked to every single one of them about holiday pay for hourly workers. Never once did any of the 6 tell me that it was against the law. So I got a school board member to put it on the agenda. Then next thing I know, I hear that it's not allowed to be on the agenda, that it was taken off. I will match my hours with anybody in here. I will match what I do with anybody in here that tell me that we should not be getting holiday pay, that we should still be classified as part-time workers. Anyone want to come down and see what we do for a living? When we get back and we're 30 to 40 bus drivers down, you think we're going to be working part-time? That's not right. And if it was illegal, you should have been up front when we were talking about it, because that was my item that I put on the agenda. And I'm doing it as a worker of transportation for our hourly workers. And if we got to become full-time workers for that to come through, then we need to be full-time workers, because we sure work the hours. Why aren't we getting... And we also understand about that pandemic bonus. You know how much people have been hurting? If you're going to do a pandemic bonus, why are you making us all wait? You want to hear the phone calls that how much people are suffering still? You think we're out of the water yet? When there's no work, we don't make money. We got so many people still in the water trying to pay their bills. But yet alone, when you guys are putting this pandemic bill, that's nice. But why not immediately? You think we go around with a bunch of money? We're suffering. We've been suffering. You guys need to reconsider what you're doing. And if you're going to do a pandemic bonus, it needs to be immediately. Not in a month. Because in a month, why are you making us wait? That's all. Thanks.
Is Catherine Ames?
Good evening, all. I am a representative of El Paso County Emergency Services District Number 1, which is Horizon Fire Department. My name is Catherine Ames, and I'm the fiscal administrator. We are the service provider for fire services to all the schools within your East Lake High School feeder pattern and your administrative building on East Lake. I come to you today because we also have a proposition on the May 1st ballot for a sales and use tax. I know many of you all are up for re-election, so your names will appear on the ballot as well. I come today to give you information as far as we have 2 virtual community meetings for you and your community members. One is on March the 30th at 7 p.m. and the second one is on April the 10th at 10 a.m. They can visit our website at epcesd1.com where they can register for the community meetings. On our website as well, you'll find all the information about our proposition, about our fire department, and about what services that we provide. We also encourage everyone to follow us on Horizon Fire Department on our Facebook, our Twitter, and our Instagram for current events that we'll be having within the community. We have a few events of Meet the Fire Chiefs and a few other items. So we look forward to educating the community on our proposition. And if you all have any questions, you're always welcome to call our office. And we look forward to seeing you at our community meetings. Thank you guys for your time, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And our fourth speaker is Gary Gondeta.
Good afternoon, Board President Nájera, Superintendent Espinosa, and everybody else here. Oh man, you always know it's politics season when you get attacked in front of everybody. But when you sign up for this job, that's part of the show. It's part of the deal. You have to have a real thick skin and go with the punches. Well, at least I now know who's been tearing down my signs, so that's always good to know. Everywhere you put a sign, you have to ask, especially at a home. So I don't just go to somebody's home and put a sign up unless I ask. So again, we can agree to disagree on the gentleman's issues. I wish he hadn't left. We could have answered some of his questions right now. Having to do with Mary Gonzalez, everybody in here knew at a brief time, me and Ms. Gonzalez were seeing each other for a brief time, a couple of years ago. And we have we're still friends to this day. We're grown-ups. He wants to show text messages. I know she wouldn't give him any text messages. I know they didn't come from me. So, you know, that's part of politics. Go ahead, show them out there, and I'm a grown man, and we'll go with it. Again, I said everybody out there, especially my opponent and everything that's going out there is, you know, you try to keep it fair and you try to keep it clean, and it never ends up that way when you're running a campaign. But again, if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. And like I said, I spent 11 years and I loved doing it. I loved it. The time that I spent here with all of you, especially with the new board members. Again, it's part of life. You know, if the gentleman, like he said, I don't know if he lives in my district or if he does or if he doesn't, it's a free country. He gets to vote, everybody in here gets to vote however they want to vote. And again, if I lose, hey, spent 11 years, and like I said, you know, we're a beautiful district. We're one of the top, you know, we're number one in the region, one of the top in the state. So what can I say? But again, I can't please everybody. It's very hard to please everybody here. It really is. And board members, you know that. All of you up here, no matter what, even if we don't see eye to eye, it's really hard to please everybody. And again, you have to have a thick skin onto what is talked about you. And again, I've never hid it. I'm Gary Gondeta. It's there everywhere. I am a Gondeta at the end of the day, and I'm proud of who I am. You know, I can't, you know, whatever happens in your family happens in your family. Again, at the end of the day, it happens and it happens. But at the end of the day, I'm still Gary Gondeta. I've never hid that from anybody. It's you'd have to not know who I am. But again, for the past 11 years, I've done what I've done. And for the past 11 years, we've been a great school district. And it's never been, Gary, that I've done this, Gary, I've done that. No, it's been Team SISD. We've done it all together. And still to this day, that's how it should be and it should stay. Not once have I ever posted, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. No. Still to this day, when I knock on a door and ask for somebody's support or something, I always say, I didn't do it on my own. It took all of us up here to do it, and everybody out there as well. It takes votes. And for the past 11 years, this district has moved forward. And again, I'm a big man, and I'll take the punches as they come. And if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. And again, I want to thank all of you for being who you are. And again, you know, when you sign up to be a board member, it's not easy. It's not easy to sit in that chair because you have to make some tough decisions sometimes that affect a lot of people. So whoever comes in May, I wish them luck and be ready because those decisions fall on you. again, thank you, all of you. And again, I hope I've answered some of the questions. And then again, I at least found out who's been tearing down my signs. Again, it's politics. That's the way it goes. So again, thank all of you, and good night.
Thank you, Mr. Gunnett. Item number 5, Board of Trustees Business A, consider approval of Month of the Military Child Proclamation. Ms. Macias?
Ms. Nájera, there's one more open forum. Yes, ma'am. Members of the board and Dr. Espinosa, we are writing this letter to shed light on how we feel we are not given an equal opportunity to thrive and move forward in our workplace like other employees. We have been working at SISD in the position of substitute monitors for 6 years now. We are not even considered monitors after all these years. Our pay rate started at $7.25 an hour, and after 6 years, we have only gone up to $8.65 an hour, which averages out to an increase of 23 cents per year. With absolutely no benefits, as of now, we are only working 29 hours a week. We feel as though we are being overlooked as employees of SISD. We love working at the school as monitors. We have felt like it is part of our home. The other monitors left the district due to COVID-19 pandemic, but we are remaining working and we love our job. We would also like our salary to reflect the cost of living today. We have also come to learn that our temporary monitors that come from an agency work a 40-hour week and make $9 an hour. We do not feel it is fair to us to not have same schedule or pay. We respectfully request that the district incur the minimal cost to bring us up to at least the same wages and hours as agency monitors and or make us permanent employees of the district. Thank you for your time and consideration. Respectfully submitted, Ms. Liliana Terrazas and Ms. Gemma Camacho de Barbara.
Thank you, Ms. Macias.
Can we look into that, please?
Now we are here for our next item, which is our proclamation. We have Casara Phillips. Did I do well with your name? We practiced this. Casara Phillips. She's a Team SISD 6th grade student from Slider. She's been here with us since kinder. She's the daughter of 2 proud Army veterans, and they're a true depiction of what SISD military-connected families are. Ms. Casara?
Month of the Military Child, and April 15th, 2021, as Purple Up for Military Kids Day. Whereas Socorro Independent School District recognizes the selfless acts of service performed by its brave members of the military and their devoted families. And whereas military families continue to face that unique burden of multiple deployments, often causing uncertainty and constant upending of their daily lives and routines, and whereas military families themselves know of sacrifices borne by military children, but their important contributions can often go unnoticed by the general public, and whereas Socorro Independent School District is home to more than 5,224 military children who have at least one parent serving in the military, and whereas military children are a source of pride and honor, and that we recognize the often unsung sacrifices made by them and condemn them for their support and dedication to their families in service to the protection and advancements of citizens' freedom, rights, and whereas the moment of April has been celebrated as the Month of the Military Child since 1986, recognizing the importance of military children and expressing gratitude for their sacrifice. And whereas a month-long salute to military children will encourage local communities to provide direct support to their military children and families. Therefore, we, Dr. Jose Espinosa, Superintendent of the Socorro Independent School District, and the Board of Trustees of the Socorro Independent School District do hereby proclaim April 2021 as Month of the Military Child and April 15th, 2021 as Purple Up for the Military Kids Day. In recognition of our military children, we urge citizens to join in special observance on this day and urge all to observe Month of the Military Child by connecting with military youth, military families, and communities to provide support to all military children. Signed on this 23rd day of March 2021.
Sorry, Ms. Rodriguez and I have a motion by Ms. Rodriguez and a second by Mr. Mena. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. Kazara, thank you so much. You did an amazing job. Thank you.
President Nájera?
Yes, Ms.
If
Rodriguez.
I may, I know we talked about it last year, maybe the year before, but I know in the past we've done, especially now for the next month, if we can do something through either PR or the district, we're not all together, but if we could take pictures of wearing our purple, if anybody needs to get a purple mask, I know a person who sews very cool masks. But if we can take pictures and post them and really celebrate our military families. I mean, we've got 40 campuses that have been awarded the Purple Star. You know, again, typically we come together here in this room to celebrate wearing our purple during the board meeting, but if we could do something in PR maybe to get the pictures posted on our Facebook pages and on our Twitter accounts, I think that would be really cool.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. Thank you, Ms. Macias. Item 5B, consider approval of School Library Month proclamation. Ms. Sparks?
Board President Ms. Nájera, Superintendent Dr. Espinosa, and members of the board. Good evening. I'm Marcy Sparks. I'm the Library Services Coordinator. And today I'm here with our librarian from Myrtle Cooper, Elizabeth Chavez, who will assist in presenting our School Library Month proclamation. This year, she was selected as her campus's Teacher of the Year and has recently been featured by our PR department for her role in developing Myrtle Cooper's Strive to Thrive Storytime, a Facebook Live weekly event that features educators and authors reading aloud while families engage from their homes. She truly embodies the high expectations of our SISD librarians who have risen to the challenges presented to us this past year by creating solutions to help our communities move forward together. So without further ado, Ms. Chavez.
Board President, Ms. Nájera, Dr. Espinosa, and members of the board. Good evening. I am Elizabeth Chavez, proud librarian at Myrtle Cooper. This April, the American Association of School Librarians will observe the 36th anniversary of School Library Month. It is celebrated in conjunction with National Library Week on April 4th through the 10th. Every April, school librarians are encouraged to create activities to help their school and local communities celebrate the essential role that strong school library programs play in transforming learning. The theme for National Library Week in 2021 is Welcome to Your Library. It was chosen to promote the idea that libraries extend far beyond the four walls of a building, and during the pandemic, libraries have been going above and beyond to adapt to our changing world by expanding resources and continuing to meet the needs of our students. It is our intention to acknowledge the importance of school libraries by the Socorro Independent School District through a proclamation created by myself, Ms. Morales, the librarian from Hilly, and our students. The proclamation is offered as a video recording.
Whereas lifelong learning begins and is systematically developed through the school library curriculum of the elementary and secondary schools, and
whereas the school library program is to ensure that students and staff are effective users of ideas and information, and
whereas school libraries provide digital and print books to encourage children to read for pleasure, and
whereas the school librarian's role is to provide the leadership and expertise necessary to ensure that the library program is an integral part of the instructional program of the school that fosters both excellence and equality in education. And
whereas the Board of Education has entrusted the school librarian in each school to teach the skills of locating and using information through traditional resources and new technologies, to provide literature appreciation activities, and to guide and encourage content and recreational reading to every student. And
whereas school libraries are a fun community for students to belong, and all students deserve a well-managed library to provide for free expression and access to ideas.
whereas the school librarians of Socorro Independent School District have dedicated themselves to work for quality library programs for all students.
Now, therefore, be resolved that the Board of Education does hereby proclaim April 2021 as School Library Month in all of their public schools and calls upon school administrators, teachers, students, and the community of Socorro Independent School District to recognize and support this action and to participate throughout the month of April in the celebration of School Library Month.
At this time, administration recommends consideration and approval of the proclamation as presented.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I'm sorry. Who was that?
I don't know.
Let's do it again.
No, ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Motion to approve.
Second.
Good job, Mark.
I have a motion by Ms. Rodriguez and a second by Mr. Mena. Is there any further discussion? Then everyone, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you so much, Ms. Chavez and Ms. Sparks.
That was
awesome. Amazing. Loved it. Item number 6, consent agenda. Are there any items to be pulled? Any others?
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion by Mr. Gondeta and a second by Ms. Rodriguez to approve consent agenda with the exception of item E3. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. Item E3, Memorandum of Understanding. Mr. Garcia?
Yes, can we have someone just kind of give us a brief, especially to the public, about this item? Anyone? I know Mr. Al Garcia gave us a brief yesterday. I just think it's a good thing. I think the community needs to hear it. I think it's like a $55,000
Yes, we have
grant.
Mr. Stan coming or Ms. Borrego here? She's on her way because they're in different offices, so she's on her way.
Hi, Ms. Borrego. How are you?
Or yes.
Good evening, President Nájera, Dr. Espinosa, members of the board. I'd like to entertain any questions. We couldn't really hear on the video, so I know you pulled E3, but I didn't know who it was.
It was me. And I'm just requesting just like a brief for the public and for, I guess, those that were
Just
not
an
in the
overview?
meeting yesterday. Yeah, just a quick.
Absolutely, and it's really we've been working on this for a couple of months. It's actually an amazing opportunity. They're kind of giving us money to do this, and it's going to be an amazing writing project for some of our schools. So I'm going to let Mr. Garcia explain a little bit. And for those of you that don't know, we haven't had an in-person board meeting in a while. Mr. Garcia is the school improvement officer. He was hired about 6 months ago, and I have the pleasure of having him on my team. He does a fantastic job, and as you know, he's been a principal in the district, I say over 100 years, but it really hasn't been that long, but forever, and a very good principal, and he's been an amazing addition to our team. So with that said, I'll have Mr. Garcia do a brief.
Just real quick.
Good evening, Ms. Nájera, Dr. Espinosa, members of the board. To give you some context, this is part of the League of Innovative Schools. It's a grant funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. It is to support the voice of underrepresented minorities, such as Latinx and African American students in the middle school region. We have selected Puentes Middle School, part and parcel because of its diverse school population, to work in this action research project. It already has an amazing journalism teacher that will be engaging students in her class, and it is an action research project. We have partners in the city of El Paso, Ms. Jessica Herrera, who is the Director of Economic Development, and Dr. Holly Fields, formerly SISD employee, now works at UTEP in the outreach department. So both of them are part of this community-oriented grant. They are developing the grant expectations, how they're going to roll it out on the campuses, and obviously the campuses are leading this movement. I was the initial point of contact, Ms. Borrego and Mr. Reina, and their departments. We've all been working together. They've asked us to step back and let the campuses and the action team members in the community, teachers, students, and parents, develop this action research project so that they can show how we as a school district across the state, across the nation, are providing students a voice in our schools to address the social, economic, and I guess racial tensions and issues that are developing, obviously all done within the context of school district policy and what's best for our students. So
You couldn't have come at a better time, especially everything that's just happened in Colorado. So this is a great thing for our district, for our community, for our students. So thank you so much for what you guys do, and especially taking the lead on this grant and this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. And I just wanted to add for all of the board, as you know, we're always seeking out opportunities. To be a part of the league is huge, and we're the only school district in El Paso that's part of that. And Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is constantly looking at us. We do a lot of projects with them in academics, but in several of our areas. They look at us because they like the work that we're doing. They like that we're student-oriented, that we follow through on all our projects. So I'm very grateful to Socorro ISD and this district for the opportunities that we're able, and it is an amazing opportunity. I always say that, I use that word all the time, amazing opportunity to be able to serve our kids in this way. And I'm a firm believer that the more that we bring all these agencies into our school district, the more our kids benefit and grow.
Thank you.
Ms. Nájera, I have a question.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mena, go ahead.
How big is the grant? How much money are we talking about?
it's about $55,000, and it's not a very big grant, but it fills a huge niche in our school district. It is going to go mostly for stipends, for parents, for students, for community members to participate and make this an active, engaging process throughout the school year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Do you have a motion?
Motion. Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Garcia and a second by Mr. Mena. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Garcia and Ms. Borrego.
CrossFit.
Item number 7, new business. A, consider approval of administrator certified and non-certified contract. Mr. Campoya.
Good evening, President Nájera, Dr. Espinosa, members of the board. I'm Rudy Campoya, Chief Human Resources Officer for the school district. It is with great pleasure that I present the list of certified and non-certified administrators that are recommended to receive their employment contract for the 2021-2022 school year. On your Friday packet, you should have received the list of employees who will be receiving a contract. The lists have been verified by the Department of HR, and at this time, administration is recommending your approval of the list of employees that will receive their 2021-2022 employment contract as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Garcia and...
No, that was me.
I'm sorry, it was you, Mr. Mena? And the second was by Mr. Guerra. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Campoya.
Thank you.
Item B, consider approval of professional service fees for the new SISD maintenance facility. Mr. Iington.
Good evening, President Nájera, Dr. Espinosa, members of the board. My name's Tom Iington. I'm the Chief Operation Officer for the school district. Last month, we presented a proposal to start working on our last remaining project of our 2017 bond. We've got 29 projects in construction, 4 in design, and 2 that were bid this past week, and hopefully we'll be bringing those contracts to the board in a couple of weeks in order to finalize those projects. So the maintenance operation facility is the remaining project. Administration recommends the consideration and approval of the professional services for the new SISD maintenance facility with M&K Architects. On February 16th, the board approved administration to begin the negotiations with M&K. Per the procedures adopted by the board, fees were negotiated in the amount of $666,720 with M&K. This was after 2 or 3 go-arounds with them. This wasn't the first initial proposal. There was some typos that I found out during the in the letter and stuff, and we've finally agreed on the $666,720 fee proposal in order to do the professional services for the new maintenance facility. As you can see in the attached pages, they listed the scope of work and their consultants, which we all approve with, we've done work with, and administration recommends approval of the fees as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Garcia and a second by Mr. Mena. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. Item 7C, consider approval of SISD support and technology building for retractable seating. Mr. Ianton.
Yes, this begins on page 70. I presented this last night at the Finance Committee meeting, and there was a couple of questions concerning that this item, and I believe I've got, yeah. This is basically, there's two rooms. There's two rooms, and they're approximately the size that you see up here. They will house 77 seats on each side. I'll show you an overall picture, but the drawings or the illustration next to it shows the seats, how they fold up. These are retractable lecture seating. That, what you see on there in that floor plan, it will push up against the wall. This is where it's all extended. This is not exactly what it's going to look like, but this is similar what it will look like. And then the two rooms are the two areas, I don't think I have a pointer, nope, are the two large area off of the little kind of the diagonal space there. Those walls are all removables, and they can open up into that flex space in the middle. So in a sense, you'll have a big room if those bleachers are folded back. So there are 77 on each side. The room size is approximately 35 by 38, which is a little bit bigger than what we got down here, roughly about a little over 1,300 square feet in each of the rooms. We had earlier awarded Hayworth on the office furniture for what you see on the plans, all of the cubbies, the tables and chairs and all that, prior to this bid. And this one will be awarded, if the board approves it tonight, to Irwin Seaton, which we'll see there after it extended out. The $132,086.51 is what the bid came in. There could be some additional cost if we need to find, if there's not power there, and that's why it says plus any associated items or services. Right now I'm checking to see if we've got power. Originally we proposed manual seats where you had to get out there and pull them out and then push them back in. So I prefer to go on electrical. And that's how we are asking the board to approve it. The associated cost would be a minimum of $2,000 to $3,000 if we had to provide power to it. But right now I'm checking that, and the power should be there. Administration recommends approval with Irwin Seaton for the retractable seating.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Mena and a second by Mr. Gatta. Is there any further discussion?
President Nakara?
Yes,
I've
Ms.
got a couple
Rodriguez.
of questions. Mr. Arlington, what is, so in the drawings, it looks like there's two rooms.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
I'm sorry. So it looks like, so now I can't see it. It's so different, just being able to stare at a screen and it's right there. Thank you, sir. Okay, so, sorry. So we're looking at 77 chairs per side?
That is correct.
Okay, and what is the purpose of the rooms?
The room is going to be utilized by everybody, not just technology, but it could be used as a leadership meetings. It can be set up, like I said, it's lecture seat, and there's going to be tablets that fold out. It's kind of like all along when we built this building 13 years ago when we moved in it, in fact, March of 2000 and what's 13 years ago? Whatever that date is, 2008. All along I had envisioned that once we did the second building there would be a lecture hall in it. So this will serve as a lecture hall, not only for technology, but for the district to put on seminars, professional development, and use the space accordingly.
So I guess the question is, if we were just to do regular tables and chairs, what would the difference be?
You wouldn't, it would be similar to what we have down here, or what we're in here, just all on the same level. This way you're elevated and you get more of the auditorium or the theater, the lecture hall setting with these.
And if we were to set up the room in comparison to this room here, what does that look like? I mean, like from here to Mr. Garcia? Is it from wall to wall? I guess I'm just trying to envision.
The size of the room? I don't know how big this room is. It would be probably, each one would be equivalent to this. I'd have to count the towels, and, well, I couldn't do that.
More or less.
Yeah, I would say it would be similar to this size, maybe a little bit bigger.
For both rooms together or each
But
side?
together,
Okay.
together.
Okay. I'm just trying to determine if the room would be more cost effective, or the rooms would be more cost effective using tables and chairs, more versatility. I understand the auditorium as a person who doesn't do very well in auditorium seating. I'm just saying that's sometimes not very comfortable because you're sitting in somebody's lap.
Right, well, I think on a couple of our tours back when we were developing the 2017 bond, we visited some projects or some academies that had lecture seating, and that kind of developed the concept of why we would want to do something over in the technology facility as lecture seating.
Yeah, like I said, just my personal preference was, you know, at least in a table I can scoot over if somebody's too close and personal. Even as a presenter, I just always felt it was more comfortable because you can kind of adjust yourself. But in that kind of seating, in the stadium seating kind of thing, you know, even, you know, people tend to sit a space away or something like that.
Yeah. Well, the room can still be utilized that once the flex seatings are pushed back. There can still be tables and chairs set out in the room, and the room can be functional that way. So this kind of gives it a dual purpose.
Okay. I have no other questions. Thank you.
Okay, I do have a motion by Mr. Mena and a second by Mr. Guerra. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
And the motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Arrington. Item 7D, consider approval of memorandum of agreement with 528 Hospital Center, Fort Bliss, Texas, Partnership and Education Program. Ms. Macias.
President Nájera, Dr. Espinosa, members of the board, if you all could look at page 82 of your board book, this is a memorandum of understanding between the 528th Hospital Center, Fort Bliss, and Socorro ISD. Our legal counsel recommended a couple of changes to be made. Usually this is on consent agenda. However, Fort Bliss has not responded to approve. They just take a little bit longer. So we want to move forward. That way, as soon as they approve it, if you all agree with the recommended changes, if they approve as is, we could get that brigade to come out and start helping Purple Heart. This is a Partners in Education where they officially wanted to do a memorandum to share that they're going to actually have a brigade that helps Purple Heart with daily. So with that, the recommended changes are four. One
is right on page 82, which is to name Socorro ISD instead of Purple Heart, because hopefully if we do a great job, we could get more brigades to help us at other campuses. The next recommended change is on number 3, number 1A1. It says school approved by the Socorro Independent School District, or schools approved by the school district for participation. Before it used to say area schools, but that way, if we do a great job and they want to give us another brigade, we could just approve and send them, have the brigade go to the other campus to help. If you look on page 84, the other recommended item is to just add our termination contract, which is termination. This agreement may be terminated by either party at any time and for any reason on 30 days advance written notice. That's something that we usually put in all of our MOUs. And the last recommended change is on page 85. And instead of our principals signing it, we know that our principals cannot sign a memorandum of understanding. It'll just identify you as the board and, of course, Dr. Espinosa's signature to approve this memorandum of understanding. Any questions?
No, ma'am, I think this is a great opportunity, Ms. Macias, for Purple Heart and possibly future schools in the district to be able to, for our students, to have that military connection with the units, being tutors and mentors and celebrating Armed Forces Day with our students. And I think this is a great opportunity for Purple Heart right now and hopefully future schools.
Yes. Recommendation to approve as presented.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Was that you, Mr. Minna?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a motion by Ms. Rodriguez and a second by Mr. Minna. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. Item 7E, consider approval of local policy. Ms. Macias.
Yes, thank you to President Nájera, Dr. Espinosa, members of the board. If you look on page 87 through 101 of your board packet, and we also provided an update. Thank you, Ms. Crocet. I know that you caught that our print shop, or our printers, you know how technology is, we forgot the little top part, which is to identify which policy you all were reading. So with that in mind, all of these policies have been presented to the policy committee, and administration recommends approval of policy BO, BOA, it's BQ, sorry, BQA, BQB, CHG, DBA, EHC, EHDE, and MFH as presented in your board packet.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Gondeta and a second by Mr. Morales. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Macias.
Thank you.
Item 8, executive session. The meeting is to be closed for discussion with legal counsel to receive and discuss the recommendation of administration to propose termination of the term contract of ALM teacher at Ernesto Cerner K-8 campus for good cause, to receive and consider level 3 grievance appealed filed by AD, to discuss personnel and real estate matters under Texas Government Code sections 551.071, 551.072, and 551.074. The time is 7:05. Everybody back? Okay. We are back in regular session. The time is 7:53. We'll continue with new business. A, discussion and possible action regarding the recommendation of administration to propose termination of the term contract of ALM teacher at Ernesto Cerner K-8 campus for good cause. There will be no action taken on this item. We will move on to item 9B, discussion and possible action regarding level 3 grievance appeal filed by AD. And again, there will be no action taken on this item. If there's no further business before this board, we are adjourned and the time is 7:54. Thank you.